Hey guys, welcome back to Hogwarts, the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. You know the deal, we're just looking at parodies for the plot around here. Today we're looking at Hairy Twatter, which is based on that famous book and film series, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. This parody was produced by Dream Zone Entertainment and directed by Jordan Zepto, who is known for greats such as Rambone, The Little Sperm Maid, and Charlie Sheen's Las Vegas Party.
Hey America, this is Charlie Shine, your favorite primetime superstar. I'm sure you've heard all about my legendary insatiable sexual appetite by now. This is your chance to see how I roll.
Truth be told, I'm really looking forward to this parody. Just like any kid that grew up in the 2000s, I absolutely inhaled all that wizard shit. I watched all the movies, read the books, dressed up as Harry for Halloween, and even ate those disgusting beans. Who else remembers how good those first few games were? Come on, baby. Come on, yes. Baby, yes. Flipendo! But before we delve into this, I want you all to take a moment, close your eyes, and truly consider the boundless possibilities of creating a Harry Potter porn parody. Let's see, there's crazy ass love potions, monsters that will suck the soul out of you like a $40 hooker, outdated wizard handjob machines, potential magic sex shops, unicorn cum.
Hagrid, what is that?
See that? That's unicorn, that is.
And ghosts literally named Moaning Myrtle. I could go on, but I think you get the picture. Yeah, sure, Harry Potter had neat spells, but let's be real. We all came for the magic, but stayed for the great characters and writing. So if this parody can't give us crazy CGI or set pieces, I hope that at the very least, it can expand on the Harry Potter story in a meaningful way. With that in mind, it's time to enter the magical world of Hairy Twatter.
Scared, Potter.
You wish.
Oh, and yeah, I figured I'd address this quick. Yes, I know, the visual quality of these parodies isn't as good as it could be. I get them from the internet. If you think I'd pay $45 to review the last physical copy of The Godfather XXX, you're not wrong, I'm just broke. Now, enjoy the show. Hairy Twatter doesn't waste a single second getting into the story, as we are thrown into a conversation between our two heroes where a desperate Ron asks Harry for help in spicing up his sex life.
But Harry, you don't understand. I'm tired of looking at Homie's bald pussy. I need some hairy snatch to fuck.
I do understand, Ron. It's just, do you really think it's a good idea for me to get the spell from Bellatrix and then use it on every girl in the school?
I wouldn't be asking you if I wasn't desperate.
After some hesitation, Harry reluctantly agrees to help Ron.
Okay, Ron, I'll do it.
Yeah?
But I hope I don't regret it.
Here, we get an exterior Shutterstock still of a castle. A shot of Hogwarts, the School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, as Harry searches for the famous Death Eater. Next, Harry walks into what appears to be a sort of library or classroom, where he finds none other than Bellatrix Lestrange, here called Hellatrix.
Harry, I've been expecting you.
So, you see, in Ron's dream, you were giving all the girls...
Giving all the girls what, Harry?
Well, you know.
Shag carpeting, you might say?
Yes, you might say something like that.
This scene is interesting as it appears that Bellatrix was somewhat aware that Harry would be visiting her, and also happened to know what Harry was going to say regarding Ron's dream. This suggests that Bellatrix might have used occlumency on Ron to plant the desire of wanting Hermione to have a hairy bush, perhaps inside one of his dreams, or that she used occlumency to read Harry's thoughts when he entered the room.
Let him chill him out. Concentrate, Potter.
So, do you really have a spell like this, or is it just one of Ron's dumb dreams?
You know, Harry, I used to have the same problem. I couldn't grow a bush. And then I was given this spell by a great wizard,
And then what happened?
Well, see for yourself.
The Death Eater decides to show Harry the power of the charm firsthand.
Wow, that's a very nice bush, Bellatrix. I don't I don't know if I should be looking at it.
Well, Harry, you're gonna have to do more than just look at it if you want me to teach you that spell. Come here and show me how much you really care about your friend.
As selfless as ever, Harry has sex with Bellatrix so that he can help Ron. Alright, we're only 2 minutes in, and I have so many questions. First off, what is Bellatrix Lestrange doing in Hogwarts? How is one of the most wanted criminals in the wizarding world allowed to spend her time at Hogwarts and chat with students? Isn't she supposed to be in Azkaban? Does this mean that Hairy Twatter takes place after she broke out in the 5th book? Secondly, who was the famous wizard who gave her that spell? Was it Voldemort or Dumbledore himself? Last and certainly not least, why the fuck is Harry Potter all chummy with the woman who murdered his godfather and tortured his friend's parents? She is literally one of Harry's mortal enemies, and here he is just hanging out with her. But hey, have no fear, I'm sure Harry Twatter will address all these questions, so let's just carry on. In the next scene, Mr. Potter returns from his meeting with Bellatrix to show off his new spell to Ron.
So what happened? Do you think it would work?
Well, if Bellatrix was telling the truth, you're gonna be a very happy man.
All right then, give it a go.
But before casting the spell, Harry hesitates, wondering what the ramifications of using such powerful magic could be.
I still don't know if this is a good idea, Ron.
Come on, Harry, we've gone this far.
All right then. For this bald pussy, I do not care. Give me much, much hair. Do it now, do it in a rush. Give me a big, big bush.
The damage is done as the spell travels through Hogwarts.
Do you think it worked?
I don't know, Ron. You know, it's one thing, though, that's really been baffling me is, who do you think it's gonna work on?
Moving on, we jump to the next day, where a half-naked and perplexed Hermione shows off her newfound growth to Ron.
I was just bald the other day and I grew a bush overnight.
Well, I think it looks sexy.
Ron, you're not even a bit worried about me?
Trust me, there's nothing to be worried about.
How can you be so sure?
All right, if I tell you, you promise to keep this between you and me?
Hogwarts honors.
Ron proceeds to immediately snitch on his best friend, even after all he went through to help him.
Okay. Well, Harry went to Hairy Twatter to cast a spell on the girls to make their bushes grow.
What?
You sound upset.
Harry should have known better. I'll deal with him later.
But what about me?
You're an idiot, but well turned on. So why risk it?
All right.
I'd like to take a moment to point out that this is the 3rd time they've used this lifeless still image transition. Riveting stuff, I know. In the next scene, Ginny Weasley runs into Neville Longbottom on the staircase, and shows him that she too has been affected by Harry's spell.
Neville, look at this.
Oh my goodness. It's true.
I don't understand. Yesterday I was smooth and today, this.
I wouldn't be alarmed. Rumor has it it's just a harmless spell that's affected all of the girls.
A spell? Are you serious? Who's responsible?
Rumor has it that Harry and your brother are the perpetrators.
I could kill them.
No, don't be so upset. In fact, I kind of like it.
Really?
Yeah. Let me show you how much I appreciate it.
Excuse me, but I have to interject here. Since when is Neville Longbottom quote-unquote smooth with it? Isn't he supposed to be a bumbling fuck? Pardon my French. I mean, props to him I guess, but damn. Ladies and gentlemen, transition 4 of the same still image. Nearing the end of the film, we find ourselves back with Harry, who is relaxing on the couch when he's approached by a half-naked student.
Harry,
What makes you think that I did that?
we all know you did this with your spell.
Realizing he's been found out, Harry pleads for forgiveness.
Listen, I really don't want to get expelled.
Well, no one's gonna tell on you because all the girls
And, well, all the guys, too, like our bushes.
I really don't want to get in trouble.
Well, you won't. And I'm going to show you my appreciation.
The boy who lived can't believe his luck, as his wand is about to get waxed for the second time in 24 hours. In the last scene of Hairy Twatter, Luna, or Looter as they call her here, laments about her newfound growth down low.
I don't know how this got here, but I'm so turned on by my hairy twat.
One thing to officially note here is the name changes that have been going on. I referenced this a little with Helltrix, but haven't fully addressed it. A few of the characters that appear here from the books received new porn parody names, which are usually a play on words. These are characters like Hermione, who is called Hormone, Ginny, who is called Winnie here, and Harry, who is of course called... Wait a minute. His name is just... Harry, spelled normally in the credits? Are you telling me that this thing is called Hairy Twatter, and you didn't even change the name to Harry? God damn it, Septo. Of course we also have Luna, who is called Looter here, which happens to mean prostitute in Danish. The more you know, I guess. In marches Draco Malfoy, who is as eager as ever to get Harry in trouble.
And it happened to you too, Luda. You too have a hairy twat. And when I tell Dumbledore this is Harry's fault, he's gonna have no choice but to expel him for good.
No, Draco, just wait. Don't run off just yet. I heard some boys like hairy twats.
But that's besides the point.
Come on. You know you want to touch it.
I do enjoy the bush.
All you have to do is promise not to say anything to anyone, and you can really enjoy my twat.
Despite how delicious it would be to frame Harry Potter once and for all, Draco can't help but feel his snake stirring under his robes.
For my whole walt's honor.
And would you believe it? We're already done. That's Hairy Twatter for you folks. Where do I fucking start? Alright. Hairy Twatter starts off with a good old inciting incident with Ron asking for Harry's help, which leads him to acquire and use a spell that makes all the Hogwarts girls unusually horny and grows their bushes. Sounds like a decent premise for a porn parody, right? That's the thing. The first 2 minutes of the movie are fairly promising. The scenes got a chuckle out of me and set up some interesting conflicts, and hell, I was optimistic. But therein lies the first and most important issue with Hairy Twatter. You see, Harry never faces any real obstacles in this story. After he casts the growth spell, everyone at Hogwarts is better off. Every single character on screen, including Harry, gets laid thanks to the spell, and this leaves Hairy Twatter in the precarious position of being, well, plotless, so to speak. What's more is the story doesn't have any sort of conclusion or wrap-up. It just sort of sputters out and ends. In a normal plot, you have your inciting incident, rising action, climax, and wrap-up. But if you looked at all this on a plot graph for Hairy Twatter, you would see the line go up and just sort of plateau, because it never goes anywhere beyond that. Jordan Septo also makes the mistake of building foreshadowing without providing the proper payoff. For example, in the fourth scene, Hermione explicitly tells Ron that she's going to confront Harry for what he did.
Harry went to Hairy-Trix to cast a spell on the girls to make their bushes grow.
What?
You sound upset.
Harry should have known better. I'll deal with him later.
But Hermione and Harry never so much as share a scene together, so why tell us that Harry will have to face Hermione when he never actually lands in any trouble because of his actions? There are countless more underlying oddities here, with Neville repeating lines.
Rumor has it it's just a harmless spell that's affected all of the girls. Rumor has it that Harry and your brother are the perpetrators.
Harry not having a visible scar, I wish I was joking, the writers creating spells that don't rhyme.
For this bald pussy, I do not care. Give me much, much hair. Do it now, do it in a rush. Give me a big, big bush.
Or Septo's lack of initiative to keep characters consistent to the point where he couldn't be bothered to drive to Party City and get Ron Weasley a fucking orange wig. A majority of the problems noted here are easy fixes that could have been prevented with a few rewrites or by hiring competent writers who have an ounce of passion for a project like this. But sadly, what's done is done. The acting for this parody is fairly tough to judge, because the actors are given so little to work with, but most of them actually try their best here. Seth Gable puts in a good effort to capture Harry's cautious and selfless mannerisms, which is nice to see. Tyler Nixon also looks like he's having a blast playing Ron, and really nails his clueless nature. Neville especially surprised me. He's a bit too charismatic for his character, but that's more a fault of the writers and not his acting. I mean, listen to this scene. The shock in his voice is palpable.
Neville, look at this.
Oh my goodness. It's true.
I love Draco for how little we saw him, and Hermione and Bella were good too. When it comes to sets, it's pretty clear that the crew shot all of their scenes in what appears to be some house they rented for the afternoon. 4 out of the 7 scenes in this parody are shot in the same location, with the couch, huge wooden door, and staircase. We also have proof that this was shot in one day because it says so right here. Date of production, May 8th, 2012. Even when scenes don't take place in that living room, you can tell it's likely the same house based off the wall paint and the architecture. And to find out where that staircase sex scene was, well, let's just say I had to do some digging.
Enhanced 224 to 176. Move in. Stop.
Some of these areas certainly look like they could belong in Hogwarts in the right hands, but as is, these rooms feel uninspired and lifeless. And again, these are easy fixes. Hang up some Gryffindor banners, or I don't know, put some cauldrons in the corner to make this feel more magical. For music, they have John Williams' iconic Harry Potter theme here, even though it sounds a little bootleg. Great, so the music's good, right? Sort of. They play the goddamn track on repeat over and over the entire time. And it's never really used in any particular context that complements the story on screen. The costumes are probably the best thing this porn film has to offer. I give them a lot of credit for getting the actors to wear their robes in an untidy fashion, like upperclassmen do in the movies. Good stuff. There is one special effect in Hairy Twatter, which consists of Harry casting the pubic growth spell and the spell traveling through the school as seen here. It looks like a spell, sounds like a spell, but it's nothing a goddamn Snapchat filter couldn't do. I was really hoping this section would be packed, but it just feels insultingly bare for a parody about wizards. Hairy Twatter does put in the effort to present the opening credits in a whimsical fashion. Names and titles magically appear and disappear, which is exactly what you'd want. Not even this section is free of criticism, however, because someone at Dream Zone decided it would be an excellent, dare I say, truly magical idea to use transparent white font on a black and gray background, meaning you can hardly read the names on screen. What makes matters worse is that I just realized they used that goddamn Shutterstock castle as the background. Look, there it is. Those lazy shits just used some filter to obscure it. And then there's this text effect too, I guess, which is admittedly very nice. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to say we are back with the PP chart, the part of the show where we compare the plot length of Hairy Twatter against other parodies we've reviewed to see if it's on par with the industry standard. Let's get right into it. Without including any of the credits or porn, Hairy Twatter has a meager 7 minutes and 20 seconds of plot out of a healthy 1 hour and 42 minute runtime. But here's where it gets kind of depressing. Remember those 5 Shutterstock transitions that didn't really add to the story and were probably just used for padding? Well, if you add them up and subtract the 1 minute and 8 seconds of time wasted from actual plot progression, you realistically only get 6 minutes and 12 seconds of plot. Are you fucking kidding me? That's 6.1% plot and, I don't even want to say it, 93.9% porn. That's not even close to Batman XXX's whopping 17.5% plot, or even Game of Bones, which was at 15%. It might seem like I enjoy tearing Septic a new asshole, but not being able to give Hairy Twatter any credit here just feels like I'm beating a dead hippogriff at this point. After what we've just discussed, it's abundantly clear that this project lacks any sort of passion and love on the part of Mr. Septic and his team. There's some sturdy parts of the cinematic foundation, such as the actors who try their best to bring this paper-thin plot to life, but I'm afraid that almost every other aspect, like the writing or presentation, makes it impossible to keep the rot from setting in, and leaves it with little to stand on in the sense of fun or adventure, which those Harry Potter stories captured. That's why it pains me to give Hairy Twatter a 3 out of 10. Guys, I really hoped this day wouldn't come so soon, but I just couldn't stomach rating this any higher. The best thing we can hope for is that this is as low as it gets, and that we never have to view such an insult to the porn parody craft or Harry Potter ever again. Jordan Septo, I have countless more things I could address when it comes to your blatant disregard for parody filmmaking, but I don't want to be here for the next month, and I'm sure neither do you guys, so for my final words, I'm simply going to read a quote from an IMDb review I found online. Even in the sordid, bottom-feeding universe of so-called porn parodies, Hairy Twatter is rock bottom. It's not worth the powder to blow it to hell. LOR_. Need I say more? But that's it for this review. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in another episode of PPR.
I need some hairy snatch to fuck.